Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadhari. Sodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivanadhari. Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Vishnupad Banamangsa Prabhu Jakajaya Sadhusa Trishishimana Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Kota Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Prem Sagaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasati Gaur Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopanya Samakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavanam Ki Jai, Shri Mayapurnavadam Ki Jai, Ganga Maya Ki Jai, Jamuna Maya Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Somveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Go Premanandi. All glory to some devotees, all glory to some devotees, all glory to some devotees, all glory, Shri Sri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this morning we'll read from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, text number 18. So I'll just read the translation and purport. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Rishikesh, the controller of all my senses and the origin of everything. As the Supreme Master of all bodily, mental, and intellectual activities, he is the only enjoyer of their results. The 5 sense objects and 11 senses, including the mind, are his partial manifestations. He supplies all the necessities of life, which are his energy, and thus not different from him. And he is the cause of everything, of everyone's bodily and mental prowess, which is also non-different from him. Indeed, he is the husband and provider of necessities for all living entities. The purpose of all the Vedas is to worship him. Therefore, let us all offer him our respectful obeisances. May he always be favorable toward us in this life and the next. Nice prayer. Here's the purport. In this verse, the word Maya is further explained in regard to how the Lord expands his mercy in different ways. Parasya Shakti Vibhadhaya Vrshuyate. The energies of the Supreme Lord are understood in different ways. In this verse, he is described as the original source of everything, even our body, senses, mind, activities, prowess, bodily strength, mental strength, and determination for securing the necessities of life. Indeed, the Lord's energies can be perceived in everything, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Rasoham Apsakonteya. The taste of water is also Krishna. Krishna is the active principle of everything we need for our maintenance. This verse, offering respectful obeisances unto the Lord, was composed by Rama, the goddess of fortune, and is full of spiritual power. Under the guidance of a spiritual master, everyone should chant this mantra and thus become a complete and perfect devotee of the Lord. One may chant this mantra for complete liberation from material bondage, and after liberation, one may continue to chant it while worshipping the Supreme Lord in Vaikuntha Loka. Wow. This is a powerful verse. I'm going to repeat that. One may chant this mantra for complete liberation from material bondage, and after liberation, one may continue to chant it while worshipping the Supreme Lord in Vaikuntha. Wow. All mantras, of course, are meant for this life and the next life, as Krishna himself confirms in the Bhagavad Gita. Saratang kirtiyantam mam yatantascha dirvata namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. The great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. A devotee who, both in this life and the next life, chants the Mahamantra or any mantra is called a Nitya Yukto Pashaka. Om Jnanantamarandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshramadatam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Muklam Krotavachalang Panganang Hayate Garim Yat Kripatadaham Bande Shigurum Dinataranam Vancha Kalpatriyascha Kripa Sindhuvyevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. The first thing that comes to mind in this verse is, here it's described that Krishna is known as Rishikesh, means the controller of my senses. And there's a verse in this regard, Sarvo Pariva Nirbhuktam Tatvatena Rishikena Rishikesa Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. Devotional service means to engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses. And there's two side benefits of this. One is that our senses become purified. Wouldn't it be nice to have pure senses? You know, just wanted to hear about Krishna and do things for Krishna and just absorbed in Krishna. Yeah. The senses get purified. And we become free of material designations. There's so many designations. Like now there's a war going on. Some are thinking they're Russians, and oh, they're Ukrainians over there. Let's stop them. Yeah. So much designation throughout the world. White, black, yellow. Oh, he's a black man. I don't like him. Oh, he's a yellow person, I don't like him. He's a white person, I don't like him. Skin disease. It's an epidemic or a pandemic. Yeah. Skin disease. So we're not the skin, we're the soul within. And the more one engages in devotional service, the more we realize. We realize, I'm not this body. I'm not the skin, I'm not the bones, I'm not this mind, I'm not the intelligence. I'm different from all this ephemeral, temporary, all these temporary things. But I am the eternal soul, the eternal servant of Krishna. And when we realize that we're the soul within, we're the eternal servant of Krishna, then we will only want to serve Krishna. And we'll beg Krishna, please, please engage me in your service. Yeah. I have to serve somebody. Either we're serving Maya or we're serving Krishna. If we serve Krishna, we're in good shape. And we serve Maya, not in good shape. Weak. We want to become strong, right? Spiritually strong. And that comes by doing things that are pleasing to Krishna. Yeah. There's 5 things that are considered very pleasing to Krishna. So I think it's better you stand up. It's very pleasing to Krishna if we hear attentively. Very pleasing. If we hear attentively, then what happens? It goes into the ear, it goes to the heart, and it cleanses. The message cleanses the heart. Yeah. It's a subtle cleansing process. Yeah. It's like when we wash our clothes, we got to put it in the laundry, or we clean the table, we got to get some brush and water. But cleansing the heart, it's subtle. It's by hearing the name, by hearing the message of Krishna. This message goes into the heart and it does a subtle cleansing program. So there's a lot of dirt, because we've been in this world for only Krishna knows how many lifetimes. So and this world is a dirty place. Material world is a dirty place. It's very dirty. So we've accumulated a lot of dirt. So now in this one lifetime, we're trying to cleanse, completely cleanse all the dirt from the heart. And even though there's a lot of dirt covering the heart, Krishna is very powerful. Even in this one lifetime, He can completely cleanse us of all the accumulated dirt, so that all that's left is that one desire to serve Krishna. Yeah. So this is one of the greatnesses of Krishna. He's so pure, He can purify anyone, even ourselves. This is the greatness of Krishna. Here also it's mentioned another one of the greatnesses of Krishna. It's stated, Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam, that there's many eternals. We're all eternal. And there's many eternal living entities in this room that we don't see. Unlimited living entities. But there's one eternal, the singular. We're all the plural. There's a singular, Krishna. He's maintaining everyone else. This is Krishna. He maintains everyone. Like we get so many nice foods. Anybody know how many vegetable fruits there are on this planet? Vegetable trees? Vegetable type of vegetables. How many? Any idea? About only about 270. Yeah, not that many. But it's amazing. Yeah, there's fruit trees, and from the fruit trees, you get the fruit, and there's always seeds, and you plant a seed, and the fruits grow. But with vegetables, there's no seeds, right? I don't know how there's any farmers in here. How do they continue growing the vegetables? That's kind of, you have to talk to some farmer and find out how they do that. Because it's clear, with fruit trees, the fruits come out and there's a seed there, you plant it. Anybody know how many fruit trees there are on the planet?
That's in the thousands.
Nope, 400. Not that many. So Krishna has given us all these varieties of fruits and vegetables, and Krishna is so intelligent. He's so intelligent. He's really bright, He makes these trees. You put the seed in the dirt, just dirt. And you water it, and a tree comes up, and wonderful fruits come out of these trees. Sometimes hundreds of them, and they last for years. The trees, they live for years and years. So that's brilliant. And they come packaged, like oranges and mangoes and apples. They come out of the tree packaged. Of course, we ruin everything with putting pesticides on it. It's terrible. But yeah, Krishna, he's maintaining everyone. There's a nice story of Narada Muni, my hero, Narada Muni. Such a great devotee, transcendental spaceman, just travels around the universe, chanting Hare Krishna. So he was traveling around, and he went to one village where there was a Brahmana. Paka Brahmana, tilak is very nice, everything, dhoti, kurta, everything very paka, clean, very nice. And he saw Narada Muni, Dandavats, Narada Muni. How are you? Where are you going? He said, I'm going to see the Lord in Vaikuntha. He said, you're going to see the Lord, Narayan, Vaikuntha. Please, when you see him, can you ask him when I'm going to be liberated? But okay. So the Narada Muni is going on, he sees this cobbler. And the cobbler saw Narada Muni. Narada Muni, Dandavats. So much respect. He said, Narada Muni, I'm so fortunate. How is it possible that I've become so fortunate that I'm getting your darshan? So he asked him, where are you going? I'm going to Vaikuntha. I'm going to see Lord Narayan. You're such a great devotee. You're so fortunate. You're going to see my Lord. Please, when you see him, can you ask when I'll be liberated? Yes, of course. Then he goes to Vaikuntha. And then he mentions that he had seen this Brahmana, he saw this cobbler. And they asked when they're going to be liberated. And Lord Narayan said, the Brahmana, he will not be liberated for many, 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 many lifetimes. And the cobbler? The cobbler, the end of this life, he comes back to me. And Narada Muni was a little surprised. He was a simple cobbler. The cobbler just fixes shoes. Simple. Brahmana knows so many verses and mulas and mantras and paka. So Narada said, why is this? And Lord Narayan said, they're going to ask you what I was doing. You tell them that I was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle, going this way and this way. Prabhupada was describing, he was going back and forth. Okay. So we went back, and he sees the Brahmana, and the Brahmana is going, Narada Muni, Dandavats, Namaskar. Did you see the Lord? Did you see Lord Narayan? Yes. And? Did he say when I'll be liberated? He said, yes, it'll be many lifetimes. Well, what was he doing when you saw him? So Narada said he was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. Back and forth. Back and forth. And the Brahmana said, what nonsense. What's nonsense you speak? What is prajalpa? Nonsense. You can't put an elephant through an eye of a needle. Why are you talking nonsense? Narada Muni, you're supposed to be a great devotee. Why are you saying nonsense like this? Narada said, forgive me. Went on his way. He saw the cobbler. Dandavats. Narada Muni. So nice to see you again. Short time. He went to Vaikuntha back quick. Did you see the Lord? Lord Narayan? Yes, I saw him. And? Did you ask when I'll be liberated? Yes, I have good news. This is your last life. You go back. You go back to Vaikuntha at the end of this life. Oh, yeah, this is very good news. Thank you. Thank you. And what was he doing? He was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle, back and forth, back and forth. And the Kaba said, whoa, my Lord Narayan, he's amazing, isn't he? Put an elephant through the eye of a needle, back and forth. Isn't that amazing? Only the Lord Narayan can do that. Only the Lord can do that, you see. And Narada Muni said, oh, you believe that? Of course I believe it. The Lord is so amazing. I'm sitting under this banyan tree. And what was the banyan tree before? It was just a seed. And they put the seed in the ground, and the water came, and now we have this huge banyan tree. This huge banyan tree was inside of a little seed. That's amazing. If he can do that, why can't he put an elephant through the eye of a needle? What is astounding for Lord Narayan? What is amazing? What can he not do? So Narada Muni understood, he has faith. The Brahmana, he didn't have faith in Krishna. So Krishna, he can do anything. Shada Shabda Vishvasa Kahi Sudrida Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kora Sarva Karma Kritohai. That faith means that one understands that simply by engaging in devotional service to Krishna, all perfection will be achieved. So this is the goal. Yeah. This is the goal. Most people in the world, they want wealth. And not just a little of it. They want a lot of it. Right? But devotees consider this to be wealth. Prema dana vanabhyai dariddra jivan dasikori vitanimur deha prema dana. Lord Chaitanya, he says, if one does not have love for Krishna, one is considered to be a poor soul, poverty-stricken. Therefore, my dear Lord Krishna, he's playing the role of a devotee, please engage me in your loving service, and all I want is salary, is love for you. That's wealth. This is the wealth that a devotee wants. Money, money comes and goes. But devotion to Krishna. And what comes from engaging in devotional service is many, many types of wealth, such as humility. This is another type of wealth. Humility is such a great quality, and this is the first quality that Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita of one who has knowledge. Abhanidvam, he's humble. If someone is humble, he's knowledgeable. Because who are we? It's like there's a statement at Harvard on the wall of one of the buildings. Who are we that God should think of us? Yeah. See, this building was probably built, I don't know, 150 years ago. when people were very religious throughout the country. We have so many churches. Previously, they were very religious. I'm sure there's many atheists at Harvard that don't like that statement. But yeah, who were we that God should think of us? We're so insignificant. But God's very kind, and He does. He thinks of us. Even Krishna, or Prabhupada says in one purport, that Krishna is never inattentive in our deliverance from this material world. He really is our best friend. We all want to have friends. So Krishna is everyone's best friend. He's such a good friend. He'll never leave us. Even someone becomes as bad as Hitler, Stalin, Putin, doesn't leave them. He's there. So kind, just waiting there for the living angel to turn to him again. This is Krishna. Very kind, very merciful. So a devotee, he acquires the qualities of Krishna also. In Krishna, he's actually, he has this humility. Yeah. He likes to be the servant of his devotees. In the spiritual world, everybody's serving. Even Krishna, he's serving his devotees. He likes to serve his devotees. On this planet here, he was serving the Pandavas when there was before the war. Yudhisthira asked Krishna to be a messenger, to bring a message to the Kurus, a peace treaty. So Krishna did that. He was a messenger. Yeah. And he was a charioteer for Arjuna. Krishna likes to serve his devotees. That's what it's all about in the spiritual world. Everybody's serving. So here we're learning how to serve. It's all about service. It's like right now I'm speaking from the Bhagavatam. It's service. Service to Krishna, service to the Vaishnavas. Now there's a devotee, Dimitri Prabhu, he's cooking in the kitchen for the Lord and for the devotees. And we go out on book distribution, we go out on Harinam, you go out shopping, it's all service. We're all just trying to do some service for Krishna, some menial service. And Krishna is pleased by this. And the more we do it in a selfless way, the more Krishna's, he recognizes that. And sometimes we do things, but there's some hidden motive that others can't see, but Krishna sees. He sees all the motives. It's like sometimes people come and they give donations, and before they put the donation in, then they go, "You see, Krishna." Yeah. He's hoping there'll be something will come back to him, right? Right? But a real devotee, he doesn't do this. He doesn't do this. Hey, Krishna, see, Krishna sees everything. You don't have to wave it before. I know one devotee used to do that. He would wave it. Krishna sees everything. But he really sees it when there's no motivation other than to please Krishna. And uninterrupted. So this is the pleasure of the soul, to engage in unmotivated, uninterrupted service to Krishna. So this is spiritual wealth. To have a pure desire to serve Krishna. Like when Prabhupada was here, when he was in New Delhi before he went to the West, he had nothing. Old dhoti, old kurta. That was it. But he was the wealthiest person on the planet. Because there was only one desire in his heart, to fulfill the desire of his Guru and to please Krishna. And he did that in a grand way. He was so wealthy that he spread his wealth all over the world. To us, Malechas and Yavanas. Yeah. That's how wealthy Prabhupada is. And he's still doing it. It's amazing. Even, that's wealthy, even after he's gone. And he's still spreading his wealth in the form of the knowledge and the devotion in his Bhaktivedanta purports. That's wealth. And he'll be remembered for many, many thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's like Jesus, he's famous all over the world, 2,000 years later, because he had a lot of devotion for Krishna. He only preached for 3 years. Prabhupada preached for 11. Actually more, but in the West at least, 11. So, yeah, this is Krishna. So we'll go through this purport a little bit more. It's an amazing purport. Prabhupada mentions this verse from the Bhagavad Gita. Sadatang kirtiyanto mam yatantascha dvidavata namasyantas shaman bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. They're always chanting my glories, endeavoring with a great determination, and bowing down before me. These great souls, they perpetually worship me with devotion. So always chanting. This is extraordinary. Someone can come to that level, but this is the goal. Just like we chant our 16 rounds, right? So it's like Prabhupada, he chanted his 16 rounds, and he finished his rounds, and he put his bead bag on the desk in front of him. He said, "There, now I could do any damn thing." And he was actually making fun of people that actually are like that, I did my duty, now let me just do whatever I want. But no, the goal of this chanting, these 16 rounds, is to get a momentum. That's 2 hours of chanting. So that's a lot of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What is it? 1,728 mantras, I believe. So that's a lot of chanting. And if you have a lot of chanting like that, then it keeps going. You might find you're just walking down the sidewalk, and the mantra is there. Why? You've set a momentum. Or you're just doing something, you're cooking, or you're doing something, or you're distributing books, the mantra comes. Right? So that's the goal. The mantra automatically comes. So we're always thinking of Krishna. Always chanting my God, endeavoring. We have to endeavor with great determination. Yeah. One time a devotee asked Prabhupada, what if a devotee doesn't have determination? Prabhupada said, then he's an animal. Because animals don't have determination. A human being, if you have some desire, really wants to do something, then he has determination. Like Prabhupada had that determination to follow the instruction of his spiritual master, to follow the order, to do the order of his spiritual master. Took a while, but he did it. He had determination. And Prabhupada, he instilled this determination in his disciples. It's like we heard recently that Prabhupada asked the devotee to start a magazine. And devotee never knew anything about magazines. But the order of the spiritual master, the ability to fulfill the order of the spiritual master is in the instruction. It's in the instruction. So Srila Prabhupada got that instruction, 1922, you should preach this message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the English-speaking world. So the ability to follow that instruction was there in the spiritual master. And Prabhupada caught it. And he immediately accepted, this is my guru. So powerful. Yeah. What an amazing meeting. Two Shaktavesh avatars coming together and immediately getting an instruction like that. Spread this message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the English-speaking world. What an amazing meeting that moment was. Yeah. And this is the result. Yeah. So many temples all over the world. Prabhupada, he wanted that that the Hare Krishna mantra be a household word throughout the world. I don't know, I've probably said this before, but it's kind of funny. One devotee was in Florida. He was with his daughter. His daughter's watching television, and he's honoring prasadam. And the daughter runs in and says, "Pita, Bugs Bunny is chanting Hare Krishna." I said, "What?" And you went in there on the television, Bugs Bunny. He's rowing a boat. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the devotee couldn't believe it. Balavanta. You can't get much more household than that. So Prabhupada wanted everybody. Sarva Sikhino Bhavantu. This means that a devotee wants to see that everyone becomes happy. That's our mission. So it's a big mission. It's a big challenge. Right? To see everyone become happy. Nowadays, people, they don't know what happiness is. They think going out and getting drunk, taking drugs, and going and finding someone from the opposite sex, just go out and having a night with them. They think this is happiness. But no, this is what causes their suffering. Yeah. Looking for material sense gratification. They don't know what happiness is. Haven't a clue. By Krishna's mercy, before I joined, I could see that people aren't actually happy. Yeah. So much anxiety, so much stress. So I wanted to find that happiness. And when I read the Bhagavad Gita, here's happiness. Krishna's given us guidance. He's given us happiness. All we have to do is follow. The Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, these are instruction guides for human society. And all we have to do is follow the instructions. There's a saying, when all else fails, follow the instructions. Sometimes people, they buy something, they think they could put it all together themselves, and after spending 2 hours, where's that instruction manual? Yeah. When all else fails, follow the instructions. So here, people are trying to be happy in so many ways. I tried also, we've probably all tried in so many ways. This ain't working. It's not working. Then we got the instruction guide, the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam. These are the instruction guides for the human form of life and how to get out of these human forms and get our real form. It's called Siddha Swarup, our original forms. So these are the guidelines for us. So maybe I'll stop there. Any question? Okay. Any local questions here?
Thank you, Vijay Prabhu. That class was hypnotic. That was really nice. It's a good mellow we entered. I had a question about the text, but I had two just brief questions about things you had mentioned. You said that this room is filled with living entities that we can't see. Which ones would you? I mean, there's so many you said. So what are you referring to when you're saying that there's living entities in this room we can't see?
Germs are alive. There's germs. Yeah. So many. There's atoms. So the soul is there. The super soul is there. The soul is there. It's kind of inconceivable. How many living entities there are, it's inconceivable. Achintya. There's a lot. And they're benefiting by, they hear the holy name somehow. Yeah.
So the ones we can't see, they're so small, they're imperceptible. It's not that they have a subtle body that we can't actually see.
The soul is a subtle entity. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that it's Aschayvat pashyati kashidena, Aschaya varidataiva chanya, Achayva chanya nya shrunoti, Shudrani vena chaiva kashya. That some, they look on the soul as amazing. Some describe the soul as amazing. Some hear the soul as amazing. And some, even after hearing about the soul, can't understand it at all. To understand the soul is very difficult. What to speak of Krishna? Yeah, you can't see that. We exist as the soul, but we can't be seen. Even the most powerful microscope can't see the soul. It's anti-material. So with a material instrument, microscope can't see the anti-material. It's completely spiritual. So to understand the soul, and Krishna says, Sarvagata, the soul is everywhere. In the Bhagavad Gita, soul is everywhere. There's souls everywhere. Yeah.
And then why is it, because we talked about humility and we talked about intelligence, why is the thing that the devotee is after is love of God? Why is that what the devotee is striving for beyond even those things? You said that's the thing, that's the wealth we want the most, is love of God. Why is that so valuable?
Because it's with love of Krishna that we attain the happiness that we're all searching for. And we go back to our home. This is what is most important. Yeah. Everybody is searching for knowledge. Everybody wants to be eternal. Everybody wants happiness. That's the nature of the soul. And that comes about by service to Krishna, developing love. That's just a side benefit for developing our love for Krishna. The goal is to love Krishna. He's our Father. He's our best friend. So the goal is to love Krishna. No motivation, no interruption, just complete. So there's side benefits of that. We get our spiritual body back. We go back to Krishna. But a devotee is not even interested in liberation. Just wants to serve Krishna, just like this one devotee, one wonderful devotee, Adi in Florida, Adikarta Prabhu, 77 years old, still goes out and distributes books. And he said, I don't want to go back to Godhead. Prabhupada hasn't finished 50% of this movement. I'm going to come back and help out. I was like, wow, that's a pretty sincere disciple of Prabhupada. So he doesn't want to liberate, he wants to come back and help Prabhupada. Continue. Pleasing Prabhupada. I was impressed. So yeah, a devotee just wants to serve the spiritual master, serve Krishna. That's wealth. That's the highest wealth. To have no selfish desire. Uninterrupted. That's the highest. You can't. That's more wealthy than the most valuable diamond. This is just a stone. Diamond is just a stone. That's nothing. It's like it said that a devotee thinks that a stone and just a lump of clay and gold, it's all the same. He doesn't think it's very valuable. But devotion to Krishna, oh. And therefore, sopi vravre chalam bhaktim tasmanivaki latmati. That this is by Sudama. He said, he prayed to Krishna, please, I want devotion, please give me devotion for you. Friendship with your devotees and compassion for all living entities. This is wealth. If we have these three things, devotion for Krishna, friendship with the devotees, and compassion for all living entities, that's wealth. That's really wealthy. And therefore, devotee prays for these things.
Thank you. And then thank you for covering so many nice texts today. There's a theme in the text that I kind of picked up on. It led to a question in the purport for 19. So in the text of 18:18, it says, "Indeed, he is the husband and provider of necessities for all living entities." So about Krishna being the husband and provider of all living entities. Then in 18:19, it talks about, in the text, it talks about how, there's these women who, by strictly observing vows because they wish to acquire a husband to satisfy their senses, are under illusion. They do not know that such a husband cannot actually give protection to them. And then in the purport, it says something really interesting. It really describes...
No, you're going too fast.
Okay, sorry.
You're coming to me.
Okay.
So, actually it stated, Pitaham Asya Jagato.
Mm-hmm.
He's the father of all living entities. And we're all Prakriti. We're meant to be enjoyed. He's Purusha.
That's my question, because it says we're all female. It says Prakriti
we're
is all female.
Yeah.
That's what
And
blew my mind here.
Krishna is Purusha. He's male. Therefore he's considered the husband.
Every living entity is Prakriti or female, and Krishna is the only husband.
Exactly.
So come on, that's mind-blowing. So I'm Prakriti, I'm a female, actually, and Krishna is the husband?
That's right.
He's the husband.
That's
okay,
right.
so how do we work through that?
Well, we're meant to be enjoyed. Just like there's a husband and there's the wife, or at least it used to be that way. Now in the West, it's all completely. He's enjoyer, and the woman he's enjoyed. All right. So we're meant to be enjoyed. We're serving Krishna. We're trying to be enjoyed by Krishna. So he's the husband. He's the enjoyer, and we're the servants.
So that's more indication of the relationship, because as a soul, I'm not male or female, right? That's beyond gender.
Well, it's mentioned that the soul is beyond gender, but in this context, we're enjoyed by Krishna. In the spiritual world, everyone's trying to please Krishna.
Okay.
So we're enjoyed by Krishna, and Krishna, he is the enjoyer. So in that sense, he's the husband, and we're the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, you never heard that, huh?
Well, yeah, and the only husband, and then, because it did a good job of showing if we're trying to... It says that husband and wife come together just to satisfy their senses, because there's a desire, to have that. So it's just interesting.
Selfish desire. So when we become selfless, and we understand there's a supreme being, then we want to serve him selflessly, and we become enjoyed. We just want to be enjoyed by Krishna. And therefore the gopis, they would dress so nicely for the pleasure of Krishna. They would do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. They want to please Krishna. Everything was for Krishna. Yeah. So that's the goal. Everything is for Krishna. We want to be enjoyed by Krishna.
But a cowherd boy who gets to play with Krishna during the day and he comes back home, I mean, he's a cowherd boy. And
he also just acting to please Krishna. He just wants to come and play with Krishna, to please Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm starting to kind of get my head around it. Yeah. Very interesting thoughts. Thank you for running with the theme and knowing where it was headed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Good questions.
Yeah, thank you. Very inspiring. Okay, Haribol.
Okay. On the Zoom, Vijay Krishna Bhuvu, I presume. Oh? No?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Vijay Prabhu Dandabat Pranams. My question is, why is it that when Krishna favors a conditioned living entity in the material world, he takes it away, all his opulences?
This is his Yashaha Manuganami Hrisya Taddanam Shinai. This is his special mercy. He told this to Yudhisthira because the worshippers of Lord Shiva, they live in great opulence. But Lord Shiva, he lives under a tree. But Lord Narayan, he lives in great opulence, and his devotees, they're poverty-stricken. So, again, this is showing that the devotee, he has the actual wealth, which is devotion to the Lord. This is the real wealth. To have material opulence, even atheists, so many atheists in this world, they have so much opulence, but they're miserable. And some commit suicide, they're so miserable. They can't sleep at night. They take sleeping pills, right? So real wealth, real opulence is, again, to have devotion for Krishna. This you don't lose. The material wealth can't take anything with you. You may be a multi-billionaire, can't take one dime with you. But generally these people that become very wealthy, they're also doing so much criminal activity to get the wealth, mostly, in general. So they get so much karma. So they leave with so much karma. But they don't get the real wealth. So we're trying to attain the real wealth, and at the same time we're trying to give this wealth to others. This is the best welfare. Prabhupada many times, he said, this is the best welfare activity in the world, to give this wealth of devotion to others, to give this knowledge of Krishna to others. There's no better welfare activity. So we want everyone in the world to become very wealthy spiritually. And try to... go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu, go on.
Go ahead.
No, this is just a follow-up question related to the answer you just gave. People want to become rich and wealthy in the material world because they want to become happy. So the follow-up question is it that this spiritual wealth of devotion will make me happy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and Rupa Goswami, he explains that Rupa Goswami is an amazing personality. He was so wealthy. He was a multi-millionaire. And he gave all his wealth away. Went to Vrindavan, and he's living under a different tree every night. He was homeless. And he said, I do not know how much nectar there is in the two syllables Krishna. When I chant the name Krishna, I desire to have many millions of ears to hear the holy name, and millions of tongues to chant the holy name. And when the holy name of Krishna enters into the courtyard of my heart, it stops the activities of my mind, and I experience unlimited happiness. This is happiness. When the mind is pure, when the heart is pure, filled with a desire to serve Krishna, this is happiness. So he experienced the wealth, the material wealth, and he gave it up. Been there, done it. He gave it up, and he got the real wealth of Harinam. Okay?
Yeah, no, better than okay, as usual. Very helpful, outstanding, brilliant answer to my question, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Tattva.
So Prabhu, you said that there are 5 things which is very dear to Krishna.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like hearing, faith on Him, love for Krishna, humble and service.
The 5 things are Sadhusanga, associating with the devotees,
Okay.
Krishna appreciates when we associate with his devotees because we hear about Krishna from other devotees. Sadhusanga Nam Kirtan, chanting the name of Krishna, Krishna likes it. Just like when we hear someone, talking our glories, we perk up our ears. Oh, yeah, very sweet. Yeah. So Krishna also, but he doesn't have a false ego. He has a real ego. And this is our false ego. He has a real ego, real identity. So he likes it when we chant his names with love. Sadhusanga Nam Kirtan Bhagavat Shravana, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay.
Very healthy for our advancement in spiritual life. To live in the holy places. Temple is a holy place. Yeah. This is not San Diego. This is Goloka Vrindavan. We have Sri Sri Radha Giridhari and Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Sri Sri Radha. This is the spiritual world. And to worship the deity. These 5 things are very, very conducive, the most dear services we can do to Krishna.
So these 5 things are the most pleasing to Krishna?
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.